Today I'm going to talk about a dark and dangerous thought that should have never come to be. Warning, some viewers may find this video extremely upsetting and disturbing. It all began yesterday. I was going about my day, when all of a sudden, it started raining. This is nothing new in Great Britain, but I just thought you might want to know. Anyway, I began thinking about Valorant's newest agent, Harbor. I sent out a tweet about how I didn't know if Harbor would be included in the upcoming Game Changers tournament. Follow me on Twitter, by the way, link is in the description. But it got me wondering, how would I make Harbor work? What team comps would this agent fit with? What other agents does Harbor synergize with better than others? I racked my brain, searching for any good answers, but none came to mind immediately. A lot of people have been down on Harbor, stating he just isn't useful enough and that there are better options out there. And after giving it some thought, I also seemed to be heading down that road. But then it happened. I looked out of the window and saw a bird flying off through the rain, majestic, and in that moment the stars aligned. My mind was a whiz. I was one with nature. Some ideas are too hot to handle in mainstream media, and I had just been to places the mind should not go to. Because I all of a sudden was reminded of something I said a few days ago when talking about the design of every agent. To me, a big problem Yoru has is, like, you TP in and you don't have anything to kind of, like, you have a flash, but if that you don't know whether that flash is hit or not, is my point, right? You flash, you hope that it hits them, you don't know, you TP in, and now you're just deep into enemy territory, and you're praying that that flash has hit them. Like, I think he could be more cohesive in the fact that if he had an ability like, you know, let's say he could place a smoke, right? Let's say a map came up for him and he could place a smoke where his gate crash is going to be, right? And that smoke went up, and so you didn't know whether it was a fake or not for an even longer period of time. That would be, like, more cohesive. Yes, as if he had ripped the time fabric itself to remind me of his existence. What if the true potential of Harbor lied with another agent, who has seldom been seen at the top levels of the game? What if Yoru and Harbor were meant to be? And I know what you're thinking. What the hell are you talking about? How can these two bad agents, these two agents that everyone is kind of, you know, thinks that they're pretty bad overall, or at least not good in, like, high-level pro play, how could they ever work together? Well, let me explain. One of the main problems I think that Yoru has is that when you try and gate crash here on the back of the site, often what you'll be relying on is the either, you know, a flash like this, or maybe some of your team's utility, breachstone or something like that, right, will hit the opponents and you'll be able to gate crash in and then kill them, right? That's kind of the hope, that's kind of the dream. The problem is, of course, is what if it doesn't hit them? Right? What if that flash or that breachstone doesn't hit them and they just, you know, look at you and you're still coming out of that animation and they just kill you, right? That's the big problem that Yoru has. Yeah, when it works, it looks great, but when it doesn't, and there's no way to really know whether it will or not, it doesn't look that good, and it looks pretty bad. Well, that is where Harbor comes in, because Harbor's abilities, and I'm gonna go through all of them here, work pretty well with Yoru, right? Let's take the cove to start off with, right? Let's say we do a cove, you know, let's say we throw our cove, something like this, and it lands, you know, kind of where no defender really plays, right? Somewhere in the back of sight, something like this. But then what if you, as a defender, hear a Yoru gate crash coming from inside this, right? It could be real, it could be a fake, you don't know. You want to deal with it, right? You don't just want to leave this here on the back of the site, you know, anywhere like this. You don't just want to leave this back here and, you know, pretend like nothing happened. You're going to have to deal with it one way or another. So what are your options as a defender to try and deal with it? Well, the first one is you might actually just try and, you know, run in here, right? And just check. Was that a fake? Was it real? You know, let's first just check. The problem that you might have is that if it is real and the Yoru is there, you know, you are running blind into a smoke, or if the Yoru is just sitting here, right, and just waiting for you to check. You know, that's something that they might do, and so you might not want to do that. Again, if you're on the other side of the site, you're definitely not running all the way across here, you know, because obviously the rest of the team could be coming in onto the site already, and you don't just want to run across the site. So you're probably not going to do that, and I'm sure what most of you are probably thinking is, well, I'd just shoot it, right? You're just going to shoot it, right? And then it's going to go and you're going to be good. Problem is with shooting it, of course, is, again, if it is real and the Yoru is here and you do start shooting it, that is, you know, to a certain extent going to give away where your location might be. And this is the beauty of pairing this with Yoru, is if you give away, you know, where that general vicinity that you are in might be, the Yoru has a flash and can maybe flash out of this smoke and know generally where you are from where, you know, they're hearing the bullets come from, or maybe even, you know, you're using a Vandal or whatnot, and the rest of the team can even point out to you, hey, look, there's a Vandal shooting over there. And that's the other problem as well, is if you are spending time and the timing isn't right for you to be shooting at this cove, right, you're just shooting at this instead, you're just sitting here shooting. Well, what if they're already coming in onto the site, right? That's going to be a problem for you as well. So potentially the timing could be bad for you as well if you don't have enough time to actually shoot this cove, if it is a well coordinated, well executed, you know, exec from your opponents and they get in there pretty quick. You know, you could be in some problems as well trying to shoot this cove. So you can see there are some issues there as the defender. It brings up some questions for you of how you want to deal with it. But then we can start looking at the other abilities as well, like the cascade, right? Let's say I send a cascade in just here towards this A site and I stop it just here towards hell, right? Now, this is too big of an area to really spam. If you hear a Yoru gate crash back here, you know, and you're the defender, you're playing behind, let's say, you know, a normal position like this. This is a pretty big area to try and just spam into, right? You're probably not going to want to do that. Because, you know, again, that's just, you're not likely, I would say, to hit, you know, guess correctly and manage to get, you know, a random headshot or whatever on a Yoru who is back here, and so you're probably not wanting to do that. But then you get another problem as the defender. Again, you don't just want to leave this, right? You don't just want to leave that Yoru gate crash and not know, because if you're in this position and the Yoru could be there and the rest of the team is there, well, which way do you look, right? You don't know. And you don't just want to be staring at this the whole time either, because what if it's a fake, right? And then they're already on top of you, and then you haven't been watching the choke point the whole time, and it's causing you some issues there as well, right? So that's causing you some problems as well in terms of, you know, not knowing which way to look. And then the final thing is, of course, if you do come charging in here, again, the Yoru can be holding for you, you know, maybe even like this, and that might cause you some problems as well. But even if it's a fake, right, and I've gone charging back here to check if it's, oh, I see that it's a fake, this wall only lasts 5 seconds, right? So if I did, you know, come from here and put this wall here, and now go stop, gate crash, right, you come charging in to come look, okay, oh yeah, it's a fake, you come back out, you're just in the middle of nowhere and you don't have time to get back out there, and they potentially might already be on the site and you're just in a pretty bad spot. So, you know, that could cause you problems depending on where exactly you are on the map as well. And then finally we have the last ability, the high tide, where what if I do something like this, right? What if I, as a harbor, put up a wall like this, you know, that covers the back of the site, but I just leave a little gap here in like this back corner, and I just put a gap here, and again you hear a gate crash. Now maybe that corner is a bit small, right? Maybe if you were a bit better at it than me, you know, you can create a bit of a bigger corner, right? That, you know, something like this. Still, a defender is never really gonna be in that back corner. It's pretty rare for them to be, and you hear that gate crash noise again. Again, this is a pretty, you know, fairly decent area to spam into, and this is possible everywhere on the map, right? Any corner you could do this with as long as you can get the gate crash into that corner from a, you know, safe angle. You can put up these walls in any corner you want, right? And again, it's causing you that same problem. And again, with any of these abilities, when that Yoru is actually in there, they can say, you know, let's say you are spamming this cove, you know, I send out the fake Yoru the way that you're spamming it, you're probably gonna hit it accidentally or not, right? And so that's, again, going to reveal where you are. You might get flashed by that as well. I, as the Yoru, will have flashes to come out of it as well, either way that I want, right? It's going to work pretty well with any of these abilities. And then we have the final part that I really am quite a big enjoyer of. Let's say that we're going to have another smoker, and they're going to smoke, you know, the 2 common points here. These are going to be smoked off normally, right? We as the harbor are going to come down here. We're going to do our little, you know, cove lineup, whatever, right? And then we're going to push this wall just here. And we're going to run down here potentially, and then we might stop and just leave the wall there. And the Yoru gate crash is going to go off in the cove again, right? So that noise is going to play inside the cove again, and we're going to send a fake Yoru. Let's say we put down the fake Yoru here near the start of the round, and it's going to come down here as well, right? So from the defender's point of view, what you're going to have is you're going to have blocked vision here, right, from this. You're not going to be able to properly see who's running down there. You're going to hear multiple footsteps running down there. You're going to have a Yoru gate crash into this cove just here. It's going to be smoked off on both sides. And you might really start thinking like, that's a lot, right? That is a lot. I can hear multiple people running down to see. I've got this Yoru gate crash potentially on me as well. I can't see what they're really doing. That is a lot to potentially deal with, and you're not going to know whether that's real or not. You can have 4 people on the other side of the map and do this all at the same time. You know, all we need is the harbor here, right? To send in the cove, send in this cascade. The smokes from an Omen or an Astra can come from across the other side of the map. The Yoru fake can be put here at the start of the round. The gate crash can be put there anyway. You can do that in one time where everyone else is on the complete opposite side of the map and ready to go A. You can run some really big fakes and really start messing with your opponent with, you know, is this real or is this not? It becomes a big potential problem for your opponents. Now, I know what you're all thinking. Yeah, okay, there's probably some potential there on the attacking side, but what about the defending side? Because this is where this all falls apart, right? Because both Harbor and Yoru suffer the same problem. They can't really stop a site exec. They don't have any stopping power, let's say, right? You just don't have a great way of dealing with, you know, people pushing onto you as a Yoru or a Harbor. And that is true. And so you probably on the defensive side will have to play in a very, very specific way. You'll probably be wanting to play for a lot of retakes because both Harbor and Yoru are pretty good at retakes overall as agents. They fit those that criteria pretty well, both of them. So you'll probably want to be playing for a lot of retakes, or you'll want to be playing, you know, pretty aggressively in general, right? You'll want to be, you know, pushing the space. You'll want to be, you know, trying to take space. Maybe, you know, you do send a cascade back here, right, to just end back there and, you know, really try and attack the space with the Yoru, gate crash into, you know, dangerous areas as well. You are going to have to play in a very specific way. And I understand that wouldn't be for every team and it wouldn't work necessarily either for, you know, everyone's playstyle and whatnot. So you will have to play in a very specific way. But the point of this video was basically I went through with Harbor and I started thinking about all the other agents and, you know, does Harbor really work with this agent? You know, what agents does Harbor really suit with better than other options, right? What agent pairing can I say that Harbor is better than a Viper for, you know, this agent pairing? And really, to me, the main answer was Yoru, because of the way that you can curve all these walls, because of the way that you can use all of this different utility. Yoru was the crucial answer, and it was kind of an interesting one because obviously neither agent is, you know, people don't think either agent is very good, but potentially together I think they actually have the most synergy, you know, potentially out of any other agents between them. And so together I think they might be more useful as a pair than they are just on their own, and, you know, you just throw them in on your own. I think that genuinely, if you're going to use Harbor, your next best option might be Yoru to just add in there as well and just go deep into the weeds, deep into the source, have a massive surprise factor and just go crazy. But I'm sure you all think I've completely lost my mind. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'll be quite interested in hearing, you know, am I just completely off the rails, off the source? Or am I some kind of mad genius who has really figured out this game and, you know, should win a Nobel Prize in Valorant? Let me know what you think in the comments down below.